Welcome back to Films Retold. Today, we will be breaking down Outer Range episodes 1 and 2. If you don't already know, Outer Range is a new show released on Amazon Prime, starring Josh Brolin. Please be aware, this video will contain spoilers for episodes 1 and 2 only. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like and subscribe for future videos like this. Okay, let's get into it. Episode 1 starts off with Royal Abbott waking up and going out to survey his land to check on his cattle. As he's out on his land, he hears a strange noise. He heads back to his home when he is greeted by the rest of his family. He asks everyone if they heard the noise, and everybody just kind of dismisses him. When he tells his wife he's going to go feed the horses, she tells him he better hurry because they have church in 5 minutes. This shocks Royal because he believes it's only 8 a.m., but when he looks at the clock, he realizes it's actually 10 a.m. This will become important later on. After church ends, Royal's granddaughter comes out and gives him a picture showing their family all wearing yellow, and a bunch of unknown people wearing blue in the background. After coming back home, Amy Abbott is getting put to bed by Cecilia Abbott. Amy asks her grandmother to tell her the story of how she and Royal met. She tells Amy that Royal just walked up to the ranch one day with no memory of his parents or what had happened before then. She then says, "Same as you." It's unclear if they're implying that Amy is not actually the biological daughter of Perry Abbott. It would seem a little weird if random children just always kept showing up at this ranch and the Abbotts just keep taking them in, but who knows. Next, we cut to Wayne Tillerson. The Tillersons are the rival ranch next to the Abbott family. He is shown talking to a trophy head of a buffalo on his wall. Wayne says, "You feel it too?" Wayne then calls the Abbott family phone and tells them that something is coming. But Cecilia dismisses him, asking him if he was drunk. The next morning, Royal and Perry are out taking a head count of their cattle when they notice 2 of them are missing. This leads to Royal waking up Rhett in his truck. He tells them to get dressed because they need to survey the land for the missing cattle. A woman named Autumn then shows up on the ranch asking if she can camp out for a while. Royal agrees after Autumn offers Royal some money. He tells her to stay out on the west side of the ranch. As the Abbotts are out looking for the missing cattle, they are met at the fence line by the Tillerson children. They inform Royal that his fence is a mile over their property line, and if he doesn't move it, he will be fined and taken to court. The Tillersons say it's just about business, but it seems Wayne has other reasons for this land grab. The Abbott family then split up to finish looking for the missing cattle. Royal hears the same noise as before, but this time decides to go check it out. As he investigates, he discovers a giant hole with black smoke, almost resembling the darkness of space. Royal puts his arm into the hole, which causes him to have a vision of him walking through his home, when his wife tells him the sheriff is there. Just before he pulls his arm out, he sees what looks like a memory from his childhood. One of the children is presumed to be Royal, while the other boy is still unknown. Although I believe the other child could possibly be Wayne Tillerson, I think the 2 families have a lot more history than we know at the moment. When Royal returns home, he notices the sheriff car in his driveway. He enters his home only to see the exact same results from the vision he had when his hand was in the hole. The sheriff informs Royal that the FBI is going to stop looking for Rebecca because there's been no new information over the last 9 months of her disappearance. Rebecca is the wife of Perry Abbott and the mother of Amy Abbott. Royal then returns to the hole and tries to cover it up, but nothing seems to matter. He gets extremely frustrated with this situation. He even throws the legal document that the Tillersons gave him explaining the land dispute into the hole. He then sees a buffalo with 2 arrows in the side of it, the same buffalo that we've seen on Wayne Tillerson's wall as a trophy. Perry and Rhett decide to go out for drinks at the local bar. Perry ends up drinking too much, so he goes outside to get some fresh air. As he's out there, he throws up on Trevor Tillerson's boots. This causes a fight, which leads to Trevor saying something about Perry's missing wife. Perry loses it and accidentally beats Trevor to death. Rhett brings the truck around, realizing what happened. They load the body in the back of his truck, and then they try to return to the ranch to figure out what to do next. Before they actually make it to the ranch, though, they're stopped by a buffalo in the middle of the road, possibly being the same buffalo as the one Royal has seen. Royal is sitting outside when he notices their truck. They pull into the barn, so Royal goes to investigate what's going on. Royal decides to hide the body, stating that he's not willing to let Amy lose her dad as well. Royal takes the body while Rhett cleans up the blood inside the truck. Perry, still inside the house, hears a knock at the door, and it's none other than the 2 other Tillerson boys. They obviously suspect the Abbotts for their missing brother. Evidence leads them to the barn where the truck was parked, but when they get inside, they just see the truck with bales of hay in the back. Then the Tillersons notice fresh horse droppings on the ground. This tells them that someone is out riding. This leads them to getting into their vehicles to search the ranch. Royal then passes over a fence getting cut by the barbed wire, leading him to lose his shirt in the process. Royal then throws the body of Trevor into the mysterious hole. Autumn witnesses this and questions Royal. Autumn tells Royal that she won't tell anyone about this before pushing him into the hole, ending episode 1. Episode 2 starts off right where we left off, with Autumn standing over the hole, almost as if she regrets what she did. She quickly runs to the fence and takes Royal's shirt. The Tillerson boys come back to the house after tearing through the Abbott ranch, only to be scolded by Cecilia Abbott. They eventually apologize and leave. Royal is then shown waking up the next morning on a section of the ranch. He makes his way back to the house to see Cecilia, Perry, and waiting for him at the kitchen table. Cecilia asks Royal what happened to his leg, but he tells her not to worry about it. They ask what happened to the body, but Royal says it's just gone. Cecilia cleans and stitches Royal's wound on his leg, and we learn that he was actually shot. Cecilia learns about the land dispute and confronts Royal about it, leading him to visit an attorney. Royal's attorney advises him to just give up the land, but Royal is not having any of it. He then pays a visit to Wayne Tillerson to see if they can reach some common ground on the dispute. While waiting to see Wayne, Royal finds a card from the doctor that's part of the University of Wyoming, and she belongs to the Rare Earth Department. Royal then pockets the card. Wayne is shown hooked up to a breathing machine, telling us that he's not in very good health. Royal tries to offer Wayne his south pasture instead of the west, but Wayne refuses, saying he's going to get the west pasture no matter what. We then cut to Autumn, who's hiking the ranch, when she sees rocks with what looks like the Abbott family sigil written on them. Amy runs into her asking what she's doing there, and Autumn says that she doesn't know, but she feels like she's been drawn to this place all her life. They start talking about Royal when Autumn learns that he's not dead because he was at breakfast with Amy in the morning. Later on, Royal goes out looking for Autumn to tell her that she needs to leave the ranch, but she's not at her tent. He sees that she had his shirt from the previous night and starts to investigate her tent. Inside the tent, Royal finds 4 rocks and books on quantum mechanics. Royal then returns to the hole and tosses his bloody shirt from the previous night in. We then cut back to the whole family eating dinner when Royal asks if he can pray. Royal angrily prays, releasing his frustrations for the events that have been unfolding. Amy joins the family and tells everyone how she met Autumn, but Royal tells her that she's to stay away from her, and that also applies to the boys. Royal then tells the family that they are moving all the cattle from the west side of the ranch to the east tomorrow. The next night, Royal goes into the barn and pulls a picture that he had hidden out of a box. The picture seems to be very old, possibly of Royal's parents. Autumn then interrupts Royal, asking what he's looking for. Royal tells Autumn that he wants her off his land, but she replies that he needs her. Royal starts asking questions, believing Autumn may be involved with the Tillersons. Autumn asks Royal what he saw when he went into the hole. We then cut to Royal waking up on the other side after falling in the hole. Large spotlights, mining drills, army personnel, and a timer counting down are shown. There's a large group of people surrounding the hole. Autumn is shown to be part of this large group wearing yellow, and what looks to be surrounded by cult members. We see the sheriff there and Rit looking on. Cecilia breaks through the crowd and comes up to Royal. Royal asks if this is their land, with Cecilia replying, not anymore. Cecilia tells Royal that he died 2 years ago, and that he died in her arms. She then whispers to him to run. Luke Tillerson then comes out of the crowd and shoots Royal in the leg. The army people tackle Luke and try to rush to Royal, but before they can get to him, Royal jumps back into the hole, ending episode 2. So lots of good stuff here with these 2 episodes. So far, I'm really enjoying the show, and there's definitely a lot of potential for some interesting theories. I'm going to be releasing a couple videos of what I think's going on here, so keep an eye out for that. And as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.